right, all right. It is our ninth town hall. What an amazing journey it has been. 9 weeks straight, we've been producing these town halls, and it's just an amazing feeling to see every time we go live, to see familiar faces, to see new faces. Really excited for today's town hall. Alad, before we get started, how you been, man?
Crazy week, as you said. A lot of new users trying Evmux, asking questions, using the chat. We see a lot of demand for the chat, and we are so happy that we have that there. So, for those that you don't know, there is a chat bubble in the in the bottom right corner. Please, we are there, and we want to help, and we want to understand from you what works less, and what would you like to improve. To make sure that you're up to speed with Evmux, and that's
Mhm.
amazing, so exciting.
Yes. And we have a few holidays, right? We have St. Patrick's Day, right? Which is that's today. And then we also had a holiday in Israel. Why don't you tell people bless them some holidays?
Yeah, not only Israel, the whole Jewish people in the whole world.
Yeah.
We celebrate Purim this week, which is kind of similar to Halloween, where people change costumes and things like that. So my son is very excited about it. Like all the kids, they love it. They also get candies to each other, things like that. Very nice holiday. Me myself pretty busy, unfortunately. So my costume is nothing, just me. Sorry, guys.
Hey, no
Maybe
worries.
next time.
No worries at all. So happy holidays to everyone out there. And today's town hall is a pretty exciting one. I think it's very important, not only the topic that we're going to talk about, but understanding how this works inside of Evmux. And that's going to be understanding branding, right? We all understand the importance of what it is to have brand recognition, to be able to be recognized by your viewers, by your audience. It's that consistency that happens there. So that's what we're going to go ahead and talk about today. We'll dive into some ways you can use branding inside of Evmux, talk about ways that branding helps you increase your brand exposure and things of that sort. But before we go ahead and dive in, let's definitely go ahead and welcome some of the familiar faces and new faces that we see tuning in here today. So Oshri, thank you so much for tuning in. Mark, I know you just joined yesterday, so welcome. Happy to have you here. Shauna, happy to have you here. Web Squadron, happy to have you as well, man. A great YouTube video you did as well. So happy for that. And Harvest, how come Bob be here? Who do you have over there?
Yeah, so as you said, you know me that I'm struggling to do two things at the same time, but I'm trying my best, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Harvest Moon Radio from
Yeah.
Scotland. Wow, man, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah. And I see that
Welcome, welcome.
Web Squadron. I see that you had some issues when you went live. Go ahead and jump in to our Facebook group, or just send us a private message, and we can have somebody take a look at the days that you were streaming and see if there's any issues in the system, or things that we can do to maybe correct or give you some advice on things we can do to make sure your next streams run smoothly. So definitely reach out to us for that.
Yeah, we are taking very seriously any comment like that. So please, anything like that happen. First of all, that's why we have the chat bubble. So even
Mhm.
like live, when it happens to you, when something odd happens to you, let us know. And of course, after that, email, Facebook group, whatever, reach out to us.
Yeah.
There are a bunch of people, that already reach out to us with different questions and things like that. We're always responsive, willing to help. Make sure that you are up to speed, as said before.
Yeah. So definitely. And then as well, we always have access to our feedback support as well. So we have a direct link that you can go in there, submit comments, submit feedback, submit bug requests or feature requests and things of that sort. We're constantly looking in there, and we're kind of looking at ways to implement them as soon as possible. There's so many features that are being requested, but I can guarantee you that we're working extremely hard behind the scenes to get them going. So before we go ahead and start diving into some of the branding, right, just to touch on it a little bit, right? When you stream, when you're streaming, the biggest thing that's going to differentiate you from other people who are doing the same kind of content or in the same kind of industry as you, not only is it going to be what it is that you're teaching, what it is that you're showcasing, but it's also going to be your branding, right? It's going to be determine how serious someone takes you. It's going to help you stand out, and it's going to help you be more memorable, right? So having those elements like a logo, having lower thirds, right, having the right color scheme for your stream It's going to be a crucial part to be able to have your audience want to start to be attracted to you and want to be involved in what you're doing because they see you're taking things seriously. Their time is valued, right? We appreciate every minute that you guys spending here in this town hall, right? So we want to make this as much value as possible to you so that way your time is not wasted. So we're very, very appreciative of anyone who's tuning in. And if you have any questions, what we typically do if it's your first time, we typically like to go ahead and start the town hall talking about the topic of the day, showcase a demonstration of how you can do what we're talking about inside of Evmux. And then towards the end, we'll start going through and answering Q&A, which is by far our favorite aspect of it because it allows us to be able to connect deep with you, answer your dire questions. And we even learn so much just from answering your questions. So please go ahead and stick around. But any tips you want to provide around branding, Alad, before we go ahead and showcase how we can go ahead and utilize that?
Yeah. I think that branding is extremely important. We talked about it and before, and I'm so happy that we have a town hall dedicated for that. Basically, when you create content, there are two main pillars, right? We have the content itself, which is extremely important, of course, but also the branding, or let's say how it looks, the appearance. Okay. And I don't think it's less important. I think both of them is extremely important equally, because if you create amazing content but you look not professional, then you won't get the best out of it. You won't get to your potential. Alternatively, you get amazing branding and your content is like not interesting, not adding any value, then it's also not good. But creating amazing content and look amazing, that's important. And a tool like Evmux, we don't help you to create the content itself, right? We don't tell you what to do. Like, better, you are content creators, you have the value that you can add to your participants, your audience. What we are helping you is to provide it to them in the best way, in the most appealing way, right? Lower thirds, branded backgrounds. We don't want to limit you. Our job is that you won't be limited with the creativity. And that's super important. Like, you can read any article about it and you can see different people that you also follow. If they don't look good, you don't appreciate them that much. Like, you appreciate, I'm not saying you don't appreciate them, but you can appreciate them much more if they will look good. People look at you, you're professionals, and you have to look like professionals also.
Right. I 100% agree with that. Visual appearance is very important to be able to retain the attention of people and to them understand that, you're taking the time to put in the effort to produce something of high quality. So we've had some people join us while we've been talking. So just want to take a few moments, just like I said, because we appreciate everyone tuning in. Grandma Joe, thank you for tuning in. Larry, thank you very much for tuning in. Both brand new users to the platform. Please go ahead and reach out to us if you need any help. I see Grandma Joe started with us last week. It started a little bit where, the platform was a little intimidating just to begin with. But as everything, the more you get in there, the more you start utilizing the tools, the more you start understanding how you can go ahead and utilize that. So we'll dive into some questions in regards to the platform, like how you can crop, how you can do other things. That way you guys can leave this town hall today with knowledge that you need to be able to go out there and create the content you want to go ahead and create. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive in to show you guys how you can actually start branding your live streams and your content using Evmux, utilizing our most simple feature called dynamic scenes. So let's go ahead and dive into it.
Yeah, great video. And right after that one, we will answer more questions. So just type them in during the video and we'll take it from there. Enjoy.
Perfect. It's never been easier to enhance the look and feel of your live event, stream, webinar, or podcast than with the Simple Scenes tool inside of Evmux, which allows you to add logos, overlays, video clips, and so much more with just a click of a button. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through the Simple Scenes tool inside of Evmux and break down all the customization options you have available. So let's go ahead and dive into my Evmux account so you can see just how easy this really is. All right, so here we are inside of my Evmux account, and what you're currently looking at is the live stream editor. So I'm going to show you how you can go ahead and just with a click of a button enhance the production and look and feel of your stream so your viewers have a better experience. So on the left hand side, what you want to do is you want to select simple scenes. You're then going to see the option under graphics to add a logo, overlay, video clips, and background. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. So let's go ahead and start with a logo. So you can simply come here and upload your logo, and once you upload it, you simply click on it, and now you're going to see that it's going to be displayed on your stream. Then you have the option to go ahead and add an overlay. Now an overlay, what it simply is just an option for you to be able to just add a little bit more excitement or display key information utilizing graphics. And you can see here that I have a logo, I have a title at the bottom, and it just starts to go ahead and add to the production of my stream. Now if you wanted to go ahead and add a video clip, whether this is a video you want to play midstream or if you want to use an intro at the start of your stream, this is where you'll go ahead and do that. And I'll show you here, I have an intro that I have here for Evmux that I utilize before I launch my stream. But you can quickly see here just like how easy it is to take a stream that's just a webcam and enhance it by adding graphics and overlays and animation to enhance the production. Then you have the option to go ahead and add a background. Now the background feature is mostly utilized when you have a guest or when you have a different layout selected here on the right hand side. So if I were to select this layout, you can see here that now I have a background as opposed to just having a gray screen on the back. This just once again adds to the branding and the production of your stream. And then now here you can see here that I've taken just a simple webcam, a simple stream, and added additional features utilizing the live stream editor, but it doesn't end there. Now when people are commenting or engaging with your stream, you now have the option to go ahead and display those comments directly on your live utilizing the social feature. So if you're streaming to multiple different platforms or your website or your personal chat, here you can go ahead and take questions or go ahead and address certain comments that are coming in, and you simply display them by clicking on there. Now you can see here that it's branded and has the layout that I like, but if you wanted to have a different layout and change it, you can come back to graphics, you can go to brand settings, and under themes you're able to change the look and feel of how this looks. Maybe I don't want a purple color, I want to go ahead and change this to blue. It's simply easy of just like clicking buttons to be able to edit this to enhance the production. So let's say I want to use a gradient or I want to use it rounded. You can literally customize this to your liking, and it just automatically just allows you to be able to create more engagement with your stream, but also give a better look. And then if you want to remove it, you just simply click on it again, and you're able to remove any aspect, any graphic that you don't want no longer displayed. And you can do this in real time as well. So if you're already live and you want to go ahead and move things, make adjustments, you simply can just come into the editor, click on the things you want to remove or add, and they'll be displayed directly on your stream. Then you have the option for banners. Now, the way I like to use banners a lot of times is to go ahead and create certain questions. So for example, if I have this banner here, I can go ahead and add it and say, ask a question for my stream saying, hey, you know, what do you guys like about this? What do you guys like about this? Or this is the topic. This is how you be able to utilize banners. Now, if you want to go ahead and have this, maybe you want this to say, hey, I have an event coming up in the next week. So you don't want the banner to be displayed, but you do want it to constantly remind it. You can add it as a ticker. And what's going to happen now is that it's going to go ahead and run along the bottom side of your banner, allowing you to continue your stream, but to allow that important information to continue to be displayed so your viewers are constantly reminded. And then you have the option here to be able to have chats. Now, the chat option is for you to be able to engage and speak with viewers or your guests that are on your stream in a private setting. You also have access to be able to go ahead and add lower thirds, and you can do that by coming here to the graphics tab. under theme, and you're able to go ahead and toggle lower thirds. Now, once you do that, you have the option to be able to utilize some of the default settings that we have already given you, which is the example or the other option here. But you also have the option to be able to customize this if you want to have a little bit more control. So you simply select Pro, and you're going to see here that you're going to have several settings here on the left-hand side. Now, you can go ahead and delay before this starts. Let's say you don't want it to instantly display, but you wanted to wait maybe 5 to 10 seconds. You can go ahead and do that. Maybe you want the name of yourself and what you do and the company you work for, or for your speakers, to always display, so that way when viewers are coming into your stream, they know who you are and who your speakers are, so that way they can understand what the stream is all about. But if you don't, you also have the option to go ahead and hide it after 5 seconds and have it repeat every 8 seconds. So you can see here really quickly that there's several customizations that you're able to do to be able to enhance the lower third. You also can change the size, the color, and the position based on your liking. And then once you do that, you can see here that the lower third is now going to be displayed. So you can see here that there isn't anything missing or things that you can't do with inside of Evmux live stream editor using a simple tool to enhance the production of your stream. So as you can see, just by using the simple scenes tool, you can instantly enhance the production of your live stream without too much effort. Now, if you want to take it a step further and get creative with your customizations of your live stream, go ahead and watch the next video where I show you how to use the Pro Scenes tool inside of Evmux, which allows you to do just that. And if you found value in this tutorial and you want to learn more about improving the quality of your live stream using Evmux, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss a video. I'll see you guys in the next one. All right. So we just went ahead and watched that video to show you the power of the tools that are available to you directly inside of Evmux to be able to add logos, to add backgrounds, to add banners, to change your actual colors and things of that sort. So there's definitely a lot of questions in the chat, and we definitely want to go ahead and dive into them as soon as possible. But before we go ahead and do that, if you have questions in regards to the branding that comes with Evmux, please do let us know. But what we'll do is that we'll start to do as best as possible. Some of the questions require demonstration, so we'll do our best to go ahead and show you once again how we're able to go ahead and just navigate and make these adjustments on the fly using Evmux, whether we're live. You've already seen how we just always do a live and pre-recorded combination, because it's not an either or, it's and. How do you combine things that may be hard to demonstrate, just like a tutorial, where it's easier to have a recorded tutorial that everybody can watch together, and then we can address questions and then maybe go deeper into a certain topic that you may want better clarification on. So really excited for that. We have some new people tuning in here. We have Ross. Thank you so much for tuning in, man. It's been great having you on board. And yeah, so let's go ahead and start diving into some questions here, because this is by far just my favorite part of it, because it allows us to be able to see where people's minds are at, see what things they're struggling with, and solutions that we can provide for them. So let's see here. Let's go ahead.
So
and
I think I can start with, I guess it's ready for me.
Okay,
So,
perfect. Let's do it.
Grandma Joe, thank you again for tuning in, and thank you for being, someone that joining any town hall and trying Evmux and really want to learn. We love these kind of people that really strive to learn and to get more skills, and we appreciate that. So you're asking here basically about how we do round corners, and I love this question because it's pretty advanced one, right? Because in the dynamic scenes, it's just, the template, it is what it is. You can add people, remove the stream, and play a little bit around. But with the pro scenes, this is where we can let you do a lot of different things. And I can share my screen quickly. Another nice thing, I'm sharing the screen of me producing the town hall. Okay.
Right.
So another nice thing we can do, let's just take this scene, for example. Okay. Let's see what's going on with my layers here. You know what? Let's even create something new.
Yeah, create something new. That way you can make it really big and she can be able to see it.
Yeah, it will be easier. Let's do these for me so you will see it even bigger. Okay. I'll take the comment off for a second.
And while he goes ahead and get that set up, for anybody who is not familiar with this window here, this is going to be the producer side. So what you're seeing right now is that we're on the back end of Evmux utilizing our Pro Scene feature. So our Pro Scene is similar to, if you're familiar with other tools like OBS, it's what allows you to create additional scenes and things of that sort for you to be able to go ahead and manage and have a prepared stream before you go live. What you see on the left is the preview window, right? Which is things that where Alad currently right now is editing. He's going to show you how to create round corners. And on the right-hand side, what you currently see is the live window. So we have preview, and then we have the program window, what the audience actually sees. So go ahead, Alad.
And we can play around. We can play around with the size of it. So if I'm focusing like now on editing, I don't really deal with the live portion. I can do it that way. I want to focus on the live portion. I can do it that way. And of course, by default, it's on the same size. For now, let's do this. So I added a speaker, Anthony, in this case, to this scene that I'm editing currently. Behind the scenes, it doesn't affect anything about the live portion. And now I can click on the element. On any element, video, speakers, whatever, we can click on it. Once we click on it, of course, we can change the size of it and move it around. But also, there is a tooltip pops up here. And I recommend all of you to explore a little bit about the capabilities that you have here. Okay, but just to keep things short here and answer specifically the question of Grandma Joe, if I click on the magic animations, then we have here the border radius. And then I can play around and choose how much rounded I want my corner to be. That's as easy, as simple as that. And let's say I decided that it will be 66. So I know that this is the number I need for the other speakers if I want to keep it consistent. That's pretty much it.
And since you're here, another question that I saw in the chat was, how do you crop the actual camera? So since you're here, you can go ahead and show them just how easy.
Definitely.
So yeah, the toolbar, whenever you click an element, it's going to be your magic tool that's going to allow you to customize that actual element. Here, you're going to be able to edit, like the border, the radius. If you have a green screen, this is where you also can edit the green screen. Crop, you can change the lower third specifically for that speaker if you don't want to change it across the whole board. So it's really your tool to be able to customize every aspect of that element. Right. You'll see we have animated lower thirds. We have over 20 designs that you can easily get in there, plug in and start utilizing it, and then just brand it to your colors. So but let's show them how to go ahead and crop.
So crop specifically, again, clicking on the element. This toolbar pops up, and one of the options we have here is crop. Clicking on the crop, and then super simple, just playing around, and that's it. That's it. Really, that's it.
Yep. So it gives you the availability to be able to go ahead and make so many customizations. And something else, a lot, if you go ahead and click on the element and then make it fit to canvas completely. So you just give it the full. So if you don't want to worry about getting the edges correct to the screen, you can go to the animation, you can hit stretch to canvas, and what that's going to do is it's going to make it full screen for you, right? You don't have to worry about making the corners aligned. And then you also have free roam to be able to adjust the shape. You don't need to use radius, you don't need to crop. You can literally grab one corner and you can make the shape vertical if you truly want to. So if you grab one of the corners a lot, you'll be able to just drag the image over and just make it into a vertical image, allowing you to size it any way that you want, to be able to go ahead and customize it. So you just have so much flexibility when it comes to utilizing the tools here, that is just all about getting in there, just touching buttons, just click until you see what works. But we also have a knowledge base, and I'm constantly making new videos on tutorials as new features come out, as we get feedback on like, hey, there needs to be a little bit more clarity on this tools. And I'm always making tutorials to help educate you on how to best get the most out of Evmux. So great question there, Grandma Joe. Great question. Thank you a lot for doing that demo.
And just to finish this, you see that I'm playing around here and I'm live, which is crazy. I'm not afraid that anything will happen to my live. And of course, we encourage all of you to do that before you go live. So if now that I'm live, I can go crazy and do whatever I want without any fear. Of course, before you are going live, just explore, just try, touch buttons, You have questions, we have this chat bubble here. Use it. We are here. We are responsive. Really, try
Right.
that. We will help you with any question. I promise you.
Yeah, and just again, like I said, the dynamic scenes and the pro scenes, right? The true differentiating factors between them, right, is that your dynamic scenes, what they allow you to do is to allow you to get up and running as fast as possible, right? So it's simply getting in there, and if you've used other tools, it's a familiar layout where you have predefined templates that you're able to utilize for your guest, for your scene, add your logo, add your lower thirds, and then you can go ahead and go live. But for the user that wants more customization and more flexibility into how they produce their content, then that's where ProScene is going to be the best for you. If you don't want your camera on the bottom right and your screen big, use ProScenes. You're then going to be able to put the camera where you want. You're going to be able to put your screen where you want, all the elements and things of that sort. So that's kind of the differentiating factor, right? If you just want to get going, use dynamic scenes. It's going to be the easiest. If you want to have time to plan your stream and have customization, different scenes, different layouts, because we know how important it is to be able to change scenes and to be able to transition to those to keep the engagement going on throughout your content. So that's where we recommend you utilize pro scenes to give you the best option to have creativity in your live stream. So 100%. 100%. So that was a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
question.
So, as you said, just echo you more. We definitely see dynamic scenes as the first step when you really start
Mhm.
to do live streaming. Also, we are aware that in other tools you have similar things. And for some people that they had some experience with other tools, it makes it easier for them to be onboarded on
Right.
the new platform. But definitely, we think that people taking it to the next step,
Hmm.
Process is exactly what you need. It's easy to use. You can fully customize things. You can just upgrade your production level
Hmm.
easily. You just have, don't
Yeah.
be afraid. The system is there for you anytime. Just try. And also in the free plan, you can try on the free plan, right? We don't limit
Right.
you with features in the free plan. We have our logo on the top right corner as a watermark, but that's
Hmm.
basically it. All the features available. Try, give us feedback, ask questions, learn more, and upgrade yourself as content creators and as
Yeah.
a brand.
Yeah, I think that's great there. And another question here that we have, and just to kind of just touch base on that, like when you think about dynamic scenes, we at this point now in the way technology is evolving and the way that live stream and cloud-based platforms are moving, like dynamic scenes are kind of like the standard, right? They're the standard in there, right? When you build the home, you're gonna need, your foundation, you're gonna need your walls. So that's the foundation, right? Where then at the point when you get inside the home and you start to be able to add your customizations, your custom countertops, your floors, that's where pro scenes comes in, right? That's how I want you to look at it, to where it's like dynamic scenes are your standard, right? You're going to find that across all platforms, right? But then when it comes to your pro scenes, that's where it's uniquely to you, your creativity, and what you want to showcase your audience. So that's definitely was great there. We have a great question here. Go ahead. I know you have it on screen now. Go ahead.
No, I had. It's not a question. I just said shout out to
Okay.
Jason Perry, saying that it looks amazing and he's going to do a deep dive later this weekend. And also, Jason, for you, you need any help, any questions, chat
Yes.
bubble.
Yes. Yeah.
And Facebook group,
100%.
of course. We don't talk much
Yeah.
about enough about the amazing community that we're building on Facebook.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
team, great community that we're building up there. Definitely join.
Yeah, 100%. So we have a question here. Web Squadron, say 1 minute or a 30-second countdown timer would be great to add to the scenes. Now, this wasn't listed as a question, maybe just responding to someone directly in the chat. But I think it's a great opportunity to be able to showcase just some of the countdown timers that we do have available directly inside of Evmux that you can be able to utilize. Again, it's a feature that's available to you in the pro scenes, which again comes in your free plan, for you to be able to go ahead and add a countdown timer. But you also are able to add a MP4, a WebM, file directly inside of Evmux that can be your countdown timer. Now, I'm going to show you kind of like a little hack and a little tip that you can actually do where, you don't have to just chroma key a green screen. Right. So inside of Evmux, let's say that you have a countdown timer that is not transparent, right? It's on a black background. You can utilize the chroma key feature. There's a little pin drop where so you can select the color and you can select that black, that blue, that yellow, and you can still chroma key it. So it doesn't need to be green, doesn't need to be blue, it can be any color, and then you can easily eliminate the background that way. And that's kind of like a little tip and things that I personally like to utilize whenever I'm using elements that don't have a transparent background.
I
So that's a
didn't
great,
even, you know what?
yeah,
It's even new to me what
yeah,
you just
see,
said.
yeah,
Like, it's crazy, and it
yeah,
blows my mind all the time how
yeah.
features that we like. This feature was for green screen. That was the idea behind it, and
Mhm.
then we built it in a way that it will be robust enough to be used in different ways. I
Yeah,
never thought about this specific way that you are just mentioning of
yeah.
taking a video that you have not transparent background and basically turn it
Mhm.
to be with transparent background
Right. Yeah.
within in Evmux. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, and when I started using that for the first time, it was just it was a game changer, and it really got uncovered to me when I was doing the green screen tutorial, where I was just going deep to trying to see like what all can I go ahead and remove the background from, and really it comes down to just as long as you can pick the color and it's a solid color, you're going to be able to remove it with no issue. If it's gradient, you're going to have a little bit of an
Of
issue,
course.
but if it's a solid color, you have no issue removing the background directly inside. So
Cool. I
really,
just
really,
want to
really.
add to that
Mhm.
about the countdowns. There is the countdown that you said about a video. We have some templates for countdowns and things
Mhm.
like that. And of course, anyone can upload a countdown and have a scene with this with auto switch to the next scene, which is great. Another very important thing to mention that for the speakers,
Mhm.
we provide, if you use the auto switch, so basically the system knows when we are going to switch from the countdown to the speakers on stage.
Yeah.
So those speakers, let's take this town hall as an example. You know what? Let
Mhm.
me share my screen again. I love
Yeah,
it.
you can share your
Just
screen that way. I think
just a
it
second. Let
showcases
me do
it.
it quickly.
Um, yeah,
This
and while he
thing is
does that, just to
ready.
kind of explain what he's about to go ahead and demonstrate.
Yeah.
So
So
when a video is
I
playing,
want. I
yeah,
want. Give it to
okay,
me, baby.
go ahead, show him, show him.
All
It's
right, so
magic.
this is our countdown, okay? In the town hall. I go for this one, I click on the magic animations, and we have already in place auto switch for a scene called main talking. Main
Mhm.
talking is Anthony and I on stage. Now, when we play this video, Anthony and I, because it's 10 seconds, so our countdown for now is 10 seconds, maybe
Right,
a good feedback to go to have also a countdown 1 minute before, 30 seconds before, things that we might consider. But for now, it's 10 seconds. It's also very useful. With 10 seconds, when it's 10 seconds before this video ends, and basically there is an auto switch to Anthony and I gets a countdown in the speaker room for
Mhm.
ourselves. Like we see 10, 9, 8. So we know exactly when this video ends, and then the producer doesn't have to be frustrated to make sure that
Right,
speakers are aware that they are live in any second. You don't have to
right,
worry about it. You're really like that, like Anthony in our video,
yeah.
and the switch is just happening automatically. The speakers get notified about that. Everyone is happy.
Yeah, it really was a game changer. And it helps every time because as you know, our run of show, kind of how we like to present that video. Right when the video is wrapping up, right when it gets to the 10-second mark, there's a big countdown timer that comes up backstage where I'm currently at, letting me know 10, 9, 8. And when it gets to 0, I know that I can instantly begin talking, right? And know that there's not going to be no delay as to just like the video plays, then I'm just here. Oh, okay, it's done. No, I can literally know like right when the show's over to be able to go. So, like I said, I think it goes beyond just the feature. I think it goes beyond the little details because we come from the event space, we understand how important it is to be able to have everyone on the same page. The producer needs to be able to communicate with the speakers, right? The speakers need to be able to communicate with the host. And sometimes verbal communication is not available, right? That's why we incorporated the push to talk. And if you haven't utilized that, it's a great tool to be able to utilize to communicate with your speakers who are on stage. But the countdown feature, and it's one that I truly don't give it enough credit because it definitely does save me, especially when we ran our live booster event. It was so beneficial to be able to know when the next step was coming. So definitely happy that you went ahead and showcased
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And again, thank you for the feedback of 30 seconds, 1 minute, definitely
Mhm.
something to consider.
Yeah,
But the 10 seconds, it's already there, already in
yeah.
place. You just have to use the auto switch because
Hmm.
otherwise the system couldn't know when exactly would you like
Right.
to, the change is happening, right? The
Yeah,
transition.
yeah.
Another cue we have from Jason. how easy is it to set up transition stingers to animate between scenes? I think that's a great
Mhm.
question, and there is a great workaround for that. So currently, we don't have within the transition itself to change it to be different transitions. But
Right.
the great workaround for that, and again, going back to how robust the Pro Scenes is, we allow you to upload WebM videos, right? So
Mhm.
the WebM video can be this alpha channel transition that you can create
Mhm.
with transparent background, and the last frame can be fully transparent without anything
Mhm.
on it, right? So basically, you can create a new scene. One of the videos on this scene at the top layer would be this WebM video, and then once you play this scene, first of all, people will see this video, blah blah blah, the
Mhm.
transition, and once it ends, that's just the last frame of the transparent frame, and then the scene just keeps going. So
Right.
basically, you had a very nice transition. This what will other people will see.
Yeah. So
Great
yeah,
workaround for that.
I think that's great. And you just added as your first layer inside of Pro Scenes to every scene that you're going to want to. So you just make that first layer, and then yeah, I think that's a great workaround to be able to utilize it. And I think that what it comes down to, right? Same thing for music. I think music is highly requested as well. But that's the beauty of the layers as well. You're able to go ahead and take an MP4, right? So if you have MP3 file, and this was a question that was asked directly inside of our Facebook group. And if you have an MP3 file, you can convert into an MP4, right? And then what you do is that you can have that MP4 file sitting behind, right? So if you're familiar with like Canva or tools like that, there's a forward and back button, right? What layer do you want? And the way I always think about it is think of it of a cake, right? Whatever layer is up top is going to be the layer that's going to be above everything else. And then as you move down, so this is a great opportunity to be able to demonstrate this so
Yeah,
you guys
and I
can
can
take a
show
look.
you. I
Yep.
can show you this here in Evmux. When I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to the layers, you see that
Right.
any component that I'm touching, I have this
Right.
move back, move forward. And also here I can play around with things a little bit. I
And you
don't
can
want to
drag it.
change
Yep.
anything, but I can change the
Mm-hmm.
order right here as well. So the
Yep.
up, the layers up, those are the visible ones, right? And the
Right.
layers down, and you see even us, we have here a background video, okay, which
Right.
is basically music. Okay, so we put it in
Mm-hmm.
the bottom, and then you won't see that, but you
Right.
hear that. So it's music, and that's a solution for the need of having music only without showing anything visually.
Right. So it's a great workaround. And since you're back here now, we have a question from Ross that went ahead and said, "Can you customize the layout and the scene the auto switcher shows after the countdown?" And the quick answer is yes. Right. You are able to decide which scene you want it to switch to once the timer is done. So for example, for us, we selected our main talking, which is going to be one of the scenes we created in the Pro Scenes. But you can make it be any of the scenes that are currently created in your Pro Scenes, allowing you to be able to kind of switch between any scene that you have available. So yeah, as long as you have the scene created, you're going to be able to go ahead and adjust it for auto switch after your countdown, after a video plays. The auto switcher feature is available for like videos, right? That you play, not still images. So you wouldn't be able to auto switch from a still image or like from a scene to a scene unless you have a video in place to be able to create that auto switch effect.
But
So
there's another workaround for that as well, because if
Mhm.
you have an image only and you want it to auto switch after 5 minutes, you can upload
Transparent.
a 5-minute video with no audio, like mute
Mm.
the audio. I can do that even here. If I go here,
Yep. Yeah, I
like
didn't
that,
even think about that. That's a good one.
I
That's a
can
good
mute
one.
this video,
Hmm.
okay, put it behind the picture, but do the auto switch of this 5 minutes video to another scene. And then
Yeah.
you see the picture, but there is an auto switch. Another thing I
Mm.
just want to add to what you said, Anthony, that you can auto switch from a video in a pro scene to dynamic scene.
Yeah.
And that's very powerful
That's very powerful.
because remember that when the video is playing, during this time I can play around with the dynamic scene, add to stream,
Mhm.
change whatever I want, do this, do that. And then the video is playing, there is an auto switch to the dynamic scene. Meanwhile, I'm doing the switching, doing whatever I want, and then
Right.
when it changes to the layout that I wanted it to be. In other tools,
Mhm.
we all know You don't know exactly what will be back. Probably it will be back to what has right before the video. But if after the video I want something else, I want to play a video and then I want Anthony by himself after the video.
Yeah.
So what? I'll have Anthony and Elad and then I'll remove Elad. That's not professional, right? We prefer not to be there. So again, it's crazy what you can do. Just explore, just try it out and make it suitable for your needs.
Yeah, and not only that, just reach out to us, right? I think that don't feel restricted onto what you're able to do, because we're going to be able to either help you figure it out. We're going to be able to see like, oh, maybe we really can't do this, but maybe this is something that we should kind of, put a little bit more priority toward to be able to make it available. But I think that, as you can see, today Elad went ahead and surprised me with things that I didn't know were possible. Today I surprised Elad with things he didn't know was possible, right? So it just comes down to like your creativity. What can you do with the tools that you have at your disposal? And it's really just endless. And I think that that's what really excited me about Evmux when we first got started, was the fact that it's just very flexible. You don't have to have the same cookie cutter kind of live stream or content as everyone else. You're really able to have something uniquely made for you without the technical knowledge required to, with tools like OBS and things of that sort, which I still enjoy OBS. It has its purpose and has its place, but truly when you're thinking about something that has reliability, has flexibility, customization, and just easy to go in. Like if you spend 2 to 3 hours in there, you're going to be able to get up and going. You don't have to worry about settings, if you're lagging, what kind of bit rate you put, and just it can go on and on and on what's capable. But really, really, really excited about what's happening here.
So let's try to take last question, I think, to be respectful for everyone's time. Sure. Let's celebrate Purim today, right?
Yeah, right. I love it.
We have Blind Guy, his wife, and their life, which we love so much, and I had the honor to meet them also for a meeting, not in person yet, but virtually. It's better than nothing. Great couple. And the question is, let me try to get that. Once I set scenes, then can I just manually switch to the next scene? But if I set scenes in the run of show ahead of time, then there's an auto transition. Okay, so let me explain that. And you know what? Let me even share my screen to make sure that, it's clear. Just a second. Boom. All right. So on the left side, you have your scenes, right? On the left side here, you have your scenes. You can, and we encourage you to change the name of the scenes and put them in the right order for you before you start the show. Just, it helps you. Again, let's take us as an example. We start with the opening scene, and then we go to the countdown timer, and then Anthony and Elad, and then video, and then maybe Elad alone, maybe Anthony alone. I'm not using it all the time. It depends. And then Anthony and Elad again, and then ending video and ending slide.
Right.
With that being said, that I have that in this order, it doesn't mean it forces me. The system doesn't force me to do it in this order. It's just for my convenience. Okay? And if I have the countdown timer video set as auto switch to main talking, it's not because it's right after this. It's just because this is what I wanted. But it can be to any other scene, but not necessarily on the right order. Okay? Right after this. So basically, to keep it simple, on this side, it's basically for your convenience. Okay? No auto transition just because of the order. If I play this scene, I can play it forever unless I will play the next scene to transition. The only way a scene will move automatically from one scene to another is using this auto switch. And then you can choose which scene will be played right after this one. This one comes right after it, maybe. It can be any other scene as well.
Yeah, so that truly helps. And I have a question here too as well, because just to showcase, we have a question here from Shona saying, how can we showcase just the full screen of what you're sharing without the cameras?
Yeah, so definitely, again, possible. I can just go to this scene. First of all, I can do it maybe easily sometimes in a dynamic scene.
Right.
But let's talk about pro scene. Again, if I want to really control of how things look, so I can go to, I think I even have a scene like this, okay? So I have a scene like this. It's a full screen of me sharing.
Right.
Specifically here, it's only me. Anthony, you're here as well. You're just below. And I don't know if it's really
And you can
the really
transition and
view.
see how it
Anyway,
looks if you want to
yeah,
transition.
and I can put me just below that. Okay, and
Hmm.
then it's only my screen. Let's try that.
Yep.
Boom. Yeah, it's another Anthony in the system, so Anthony is not really live with me. But that's how it looks. Full screen. You are able to listen to me because I'm just below, in a layer below this share screen, and that's pretty much it. Now I'll be back to Anthony and
Yeah,
me
and now
together.
we're back on screen. So yeah, so it's just an amazing tool that you just got to continue to just dive in. And we're gonna do our best to continue to try to educate you. And as new updates come up, we're gonna try to educate you as well. But we just love the questions that you guys are asking. And once again, I think that Web Squadron and Jason just continue to challenge us, right? Like I think that it's great to be able to see how we're live and we're able to make adjustments, make edits directly on the fly, right? And I think that that's the continue thing that we wanted to go ahead and contribute to, saying like not every time can a stream or content go perfectly, right? Now we set up the pro scene so you can be as prepared as possible, right? To be able to have things where why is it that Allah doesn't use the one by him by himself and me by himself? Because for us, that's kind of like a backup, right? If my camera goes out and I need to refresh, Allah can easily go by himself. If he goes out, right, he can put me by himself. So it's just like there's these things that we put in place and these scenes that we create as just plan B, because things can always go wrong. You can make adjustments and things of that sort. And as you gain confidence in utilizing the preview and the program screen, you're going to be able to, as you're talking, be able to go ahead and make customizations. If I'm talking to you, explaining something, I can be setting up the prior scene, the presentation, and then transition it. And it's just flawless, right? And I think that it just excites me every day to just continue to see our audience just growing because we truly believe in what it is that we're offering here. And words can't express just how much time we're investing into, the back end development, making sure everything's running smoothly, because it's cool to worry about the features on the outside, but if your stream is shutting down, if you're lagging, if it's not a good quality, then we're not doing you no service, right? So we have to really prioritize the stability to make sure that you can run a 6-hour stream without any issues, without any interruptions, right? At the highest quality possible. So, it just excites me when the team is just, at 4:00 in the morning, I'm like, they just going crazy on Slack. At 4:00, 5:00 in the morning, I'm like, man, they just don't stop. And I just really love it, man. I really, really
Yeah,
love
yeah. Great team that we are building
it.
and great community that we are building.
Yeah.
So thank you,
Definitely
everyone
can't
joining
do it
the
without
town
the
hall.
community.
Definitely don't take that for granted. You're
Mhm.
amazing. You're giving us the power to keep going.
Yeah.
So again, thank you. Please reach out and let me bring that up again. Our
Yeah.
um, Facebook group. So this is the ticker for the Facebook group, but you can definitely search for it. And also in the
Yeah.
email you got from Evmux in the first place, joining to the platform, there is a URL link to our Facebook group. So please
Mhm.
join us. Nice questions coming up and great people in there helping each other.
Yeah.
Just great to see this thing growing, makes me feel amazing.
Yeah, it really is. And like I said, if we didn't get to your question today, it's always the place to be able to reach us. You can reach us on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Twitter. Just reach out to us. We're very accessible. I know that it may seem like, oh, we're accessible because, we're just getting started. But that was a big kind of core standard that we wanted to go ahead and set. And it was being plugged into the community at all times, regardless of how big we got, because we understand that we take feedback as a gift, right? We welcome it, right? We want you to give us feedback because we know that's the only way to be able to grow. If we had all the answers, then wouldn't make any sense. And we don't have all the answers, and we don't position ourselves to say that we have all the answers. We're very transparent. And I feel like I said, I think feedback is the most important to any company, any individual, matter of fact, to be able to grow and continue to grow. So we're very, very thankful for everyone who reaches out, gives feedback, good or bad. Trust me, good or bad, because there's always going to be room for improvement, ways that we can make the software better. But if we didn't get to answer your question, like I said, reach out to us. But overall, appreciate everyone's time. And what do we always say, Alad?
See you in the next one, guys. Thank you
See you
so
in the
much.
next one. Have a
Happy
good one,
St.
everyone.
Patrick, happy Purim, and happy life. Enjoy yourself. Have a great weekend,
Yes.
and boom.
Yes. Yes. right, I'm live. That was easy.